Hello folks, welcome to Lester's Customs. Gary in Texas, getting ready to start on your striker, SR955HPC. Get it out of the box here and have a look. Striker hit a home run when they came out with this radio. This is one of the best radios I sell. It's made by Quazang in China, but Quazang does very quality work. Been impressed with their Q&A. Well, initially the Q&A on these was pretty bad, but they've stepped up their game. Now, the quality of these radios is really good. I can still see a little bit of cleaning residue on the chrome there. Let's see, can you see that? Right there, but it's not a scratch, okay? It's like alcohol powder or something, you know, that little residue that alcohol leaves. And I'm not going to wipe it off because that might scratch it. So I'm just going to put my bench tape on here, my red bench tape, to protect it, and we're going to get down to business. Folks, if you've got a radio on order, don't worry, you'll get it. It just takes me a while to get through all these. A lot of you guys order every single option that I have. Those radios take a while to build. Sometimes as much as a week. All right, let's check it out first. I promise you, if you ordered a radio from me, you will get it. Now remember, when you first turn this guy on, he's doing the power on self-test, which takes a minute. Go down to band 1. Okay, channel 1, which is 28. And we want to do internal. Now, am I on the right coax cable? I am now. Let's see. Guess 10, 9, 8. Right there. Looking good. Okay, receiver is in good shape. Let's check the transmitter. Had to update the management file on the handheld. Okay. That's what it looks like. Hello, 1 2 1 2, hello. Hello, 1 2 1 2, hello. I'm on ×2. Audio test, test audio. Audio 1 2 1 2, audio. About 80 watts. Audio. Hello, audio. That's on sideband. Let's see, what are we doing on AM here? We're dead keying about 10 watts. Audio, 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 audio. About 80 watts peak. And that will change. More to come. Okay. Got all the parts laid out that I need. So, time to start taking the covers off. We had requested a final upgrade of the LesComm Z05 Z06s, which is a good choice, by the way. You know what? I'll wipe that thing off, but wipe it off again. Seeing little white particles getting on your pretty black radio. Okie dokie. Alright, first things first, we're going to swap out the finals. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see me do that because I have to turn the radio facing me so that I can get in there with my long screwdriver. I have to come way up here because these things are at such an angle. Let's see. I might be able to do something. Use my camera stand here. Heat shrink bucket. Let's see. If I do it like this. You can almost see what I'm doing. Actually, that's up a little bit too high. Let's see if I drop it down like this, you can see. What I'm taking, the screws I'm taking out are on that shield right there. And that's what I'm trying to get with the camera. can see that. We'll do picture in picture so you can see what I'm doing. Boy, they put them screws in there tight. Once I get all these screws out and get the shield out of the way, I'm going to have to put a couple of screws back in it, because these screws and the ones going through the finals are what holds the heatsink on. So I'm going to go ahead and put a couple screws back in here. Okay, got those all out. Now I need to get the driver out over from the side over here. The first driver. See this little guy right here, he is the pre-driver. And then this guy here is the first driver. That guy's the second driver. And then the two finals. Okay. Got all the screws and stuff out. So now, what we have to do is unsolder everything from the bottom of the board. And then we can get the old finals out and install the new ones. And you can see I've got the Z05 and then 3 Z06s. The Z05 goes into the first driver position. and the Z06s go into the second driver position in the two finals. It's getting a little cool here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this camera and move it before I knock it off the bench. You guys can see what's going on now from the GoPro. And I'll put that back down there once we get ready to install the new ones. Let's see, am I on the, nope, gotta switch it over to the right soldering iron. I was wondering why that one felt cold. I had the switch in the wrong position.
Go ahead. Landed 40 after, thank you.
Okay. Let's see, are you hot enough to do anything yet? Yes, you are. Okay. I don't like to turn the heat up real high when I'm doing this. Kind of keep it low, so sometimes it takes it a little while to melt the solder on the ground lead over here. I may have to turn it up a little bit. There we go. Really like the way they designed the final section on these radios. Makes it real easy to change them out. They all went to these IRL 520 finals after they had so many 13N10s blow up. So they quit getting so many radios back for repair.
Medical emergency 6945 East Washington Street.
You're kind of noisy. Sorry about that. I turned it down some. turn you up anymore. There we go. Just have to be a little more patient. Give it a little more time to melt the solder. There we go. Up. Yeah, then. That one don't want to come out. Oh, I see one big blob of solder on the end of it. Not you too. Well, that one's still soldered. Just a little string of solder hanging on there. I just turn my iron back up a little bit. Really? Okay, now there's no reason why you shouldn't fall right out of there. Okay. Those are all IRL 520s. Yeah, and I need to clean that up. Now, I've already told you guys about these Edson solder pullets. They sell them on Amazon. Make sure you get the genuine Edson solder pullet. And no, they don't sponsor. I don't accept sponsors. Okay. There's been a couple of manufacturers, radio manufacturers, that's offered to sponsor. But I don't accept sponsorship because I'm going to tell you what I think about something. I don't want to be worried about offending a sponsor. So that's why I don't have sponsors. Now, if it's a sponsor that's not related to what I'm doing, then I might consider it. I'm going to turn it up more for that ground plane. But anything to do with radios or things that I use here in the shop, I'm not going to accept sponsorship. That way, if there's something about a product I don't like, I can tell you. I ain't got to worry about it. That looks pretty good. The only thing left now is to install the new ones. I'm going to take a break. So, more to come. Okay. Thought this thing was recording, but I guess I didn't push the button. I wanted to get you over here where you could see a little better. You see me putting the finals in there. You missed me putting all the heatsink compound, getting it all over my fingers. I was saying I like to use this small Phillips to get them started, so because it's easier to get them started in the holes straight. And then I'll use the long one to tighten them up afterwards. All right. Come on now. Oops. I know why you didn't want to go in there. I forgot to put the heatsink compound on there. There we go. Grab it down here on the tip of it.
Jack Tower, sorry. High traffic. Sir, you were responding to a
I don't want to put this up now because, if I'm not mistaken, you also are getting a max mod. Look at your chart here. Yep. So that'll be next. Once we get all this put back together. Okay. Now, I don't like to tighten them down, and I'd like to get them snug, but I'm going to need to move the leads around a little bit to make them line up with the pads perfectly. So that's why I don't tighten them down. But I do want them snug so they don't move too much. And once I get them soldered in place, then we'll tighten them down. I like to do the collector lead first. And I think I bumped the camera. Can't see nothing like that, can you? Alrighty. I don't know what's going on with my damn GoPro, but it just arbitrarily stops recording. It's got plenty of battery. I Also got plenty of memory. Swapped memory cards, or the micro SD card, several times just to see if that was the problem, and it wasn't. So, not real sure what's going on with that thing. It's been nice, haven't it? But you know, I mean, might have to replace it. Getting these leads in place to be soldered. Okay, now I get to trim them all. And I will make sure that I pick up all of the cut off pieces. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna double check it. That looks pretty good. Now we need to put our strap back across there. And this is for current. So yes, it does need to go back on there. Without shorting anything out. Just like so. Although that looks good, I'm still going to check it. Okay. That's good. Let's see, are you still recording? Yeah, looks like you are. Okay. All right. Let's check this one over here. I've already checked it. I know he's tight. So let's get the shield put back on here. Oh, you know what? You'd probably like to see a good shot of that before I put that back on there. All right, there's your... And this piece of shit just stopped recording again. It just stopped recording again. So I need to figure this out. Anyway, getting ready to replace the voltage regulator, and if you already seen that, I apologize. But I don't know what you've seen or what you haven't. I won't until I go to edit the damn video. But this is getting to be very aggravating. Okay, more to come. Let me go see if I can figure out what's going on. Okay, let's see how long it records this time. Get ready to install your Max mod. I should be able to use the same screw.
Just for 17 Russian engine 17 features 3486 power speed line.
Get a good heat transfer. Make sure I'm getting good heat transfer. Always add a little bit of fresh solder to these joints. Now, I'm not sure if they bent the leads over or if they just cut them off as they came through the board. They just cut them off. Okay. That's what we needed to know. So what I'm going to do is go back to this side. We're going to cut the leads off right at the board. Well, not right at the board. Up a little bit. So I can heat each lead up individually and get it out. Otherwise, we might damage the PC board. The radio main board, rather. By doing it like this, then I can heat them up individually and pull it out. No, that's not the right ones. Use these. I might need to add some more solder to that. Oh, I didn't. Now, of course, it makes it easier to clean out the holes once you do this. Once you get the leads out of the way, and they come out pretty easy. That's why we cut them off. You can't heat all three of them at the same time because they're spread too far apart. I might be able to take my heat gun and do that, but then I risk damaging the PC board. I keep saying PC board, but you guys know what I mean, the main radio board. And we've got all of that part out now. So now I get to clean out the holes. Get it ready for our new piece. I'm probably going to put some solder back on that one, and that'll help me clean it out. These are all through bored holes or through holes. I'm not happy with the way that looks. I guess I'm just too picky. Okay, we're looking on the top side, looks good. Alrighty. Now I know from experience about where I need to put the hole for the new part. So I'm going to be doing that. About there. And I've told you guys before, I like to punch the holes. I've got like 2 or 3 of these punches so that there's no drill shavings or anything on the inside there. Right, see, I told you we were going to be needing this again. Type Z9 heatsink compound. GC Electronics. I don't even think they make this anymore. Even if GC is still in business, I'm not sure. Some of you guys out there probably know. Okay. I'll add a little bit more. That looks a little thin. You want good heat transfer. That's what I like about these, is that large heat sink area it's got on the back of the part. That's what makes them so good. They're able to transfer the heat better because of it. I'll be dang. Oh, I thought I was going to get away without getting any on me, but that's wrong. I was thinking, man, I must not have done something right. Because if you don't come away with this crap all over you, then you ain't used enough of it. Okay. Put that right down there. Here we go. See it mash that, a lot of that fluid out from under there, and that's what you want. Okay. Now I'm going to bend these over a little bit rather than just chop them off. They will need to be cut. Okay, time to put some solder on it. Yes, I still use lead core or lead solder, lead and tin. That new non-lead stuff just doesn't solder that well. It works, but I prefer those nice shiny connections. All right. Well, there it is. Okay. I'm going to put some Loctite on it. Make sure that screw doesn't back out. Oh, man. Got enough on there that ain't gonna come out. Okay, let me let that dry for a minute. And I'm gonna get started taking out the undersized capacitors. And we're gonna change out this guy here. And I gotta pull this can off and this can off and do the tune-up. And I'm gonna pull this off to set the bias. So, more to come. Okay, that's long enough. Now I'm going to start taking those parts out that we want to replace. And I'll start that by adding solder between the leads to make it easier to pull them out. Here's the crystal filter we're going to change out. This is the voltage regulator capacitor we're going to increase the size of. And this tiny little guy back here is the one we're going to increase the size of to improve the filtering from the DC power coming into the radio. Which, as I've told you before, I don't see how they're getting away with a 470 microfarad capacitor. But that's what they're using. We'll start with the easiest one to get out. Now you watch, I said that it's going to be really hard to get out. Took a little bit longer because I don't have the iron turned up real high. I want to protect that board because you can easily lift the copper runs off of these boards. Really easily. I'll come back and clean out the holes in just a minute. Okay. Yeah, let's clean out these holes. Let her sit there for a little while to make, yeah, so that it melts the solder all the way through the board, but I didn't let it sit there long enough. The one in the middle is the ground plane. Goes through the hole to both sides of the board, and it acts like a heat sink. Sinks away the heat that I'm trying to put on this spot to clean out this hole. I may have to turn the iron up a little bit. I'll give it a little bit longer to sit there, and hopefully it'll melt all the way through. Hey, there we go. And I've told you guys before about the Edison solder pullet. Make sure you get the real Edison brand. They're selling them on Amazon. You just can't beat it. But I thought that they had went out of business because I could never find them. The only thing I could find was those Chinese things. And while they did work better than nothing, but they just did not work as well as the original Edison that they copied. And that's what that is a copy. But you guys know the Chinese copy everything. Damn near every electronic part you buy now is made in China. Well, I've talked about that too. You guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about that. Well, we're looking pretty good so far. Now, let me find some standoffs and we'll go ahead and get the capacitors in. I want to get that one right there. This is nothing more than a straw from a spray can. I just want it standing up off the board a little bit to avoid the SMT parts around it. So I'm not sure if it's getting hot or what the deal is, but it'll just like it did just then, it'll just quit recording. Very annoying. I'll have to review the tape and see how much of that you guys got. I was talking about the standoffs, putting the standoffs in here to get the bottom of the capacitors up above the SMT components, and one here in the back I needed it a little bit bigger, a little bit taller to get it above the chassis, I might need to clean that hole out a little more. No? Maybe I just got to get it in there straight. I'll tell you what, you got to have patience with this stuff. And don't start doing that. Okay. Now, we're up above that chassis mount. Might have to turn the heat up a little bit. Yep. Let's see, you still recording? Yep, okay. All right. That was done. Windy over here in Florida today. Having a little cold spell. It won't last. I'm putting that hot glue on there to hold these spacers on the bottom of the cap while I install them. Otherwise they'll slide down the leads and fall off. And you don't want to put these in backwards there, fellers. You want to make sure that the ground side is towards the ground. The negative side is towards the ground plane on the board. Otherwise, it'll pop like a rifle when you put power on it. Ask me how I know that. I put one or two in. Well, actually, one of them wasn't my fault. The capacitor was actually labeled incorrectly. But see this negative strip down here on the side? It has to go towards the ground plane side of the board. Okay, we're going back with a 10F 7.5 NDK. And this is only effective on AM and FM. It's to cut down bleed over. That is your sideband filter. But this one and the little square 455 one are AM and FM, and the little square 455 one actually does a little bit of sideband too. Hold on a second. IF mixer. And what I did just then was reach underneath and push the crystal filter up while I heated up the center lead to make sure that it was seated all the way on the board. Okay. Got those two guys to put in. Let's see. Now I'm going to have to switch soldering irons so I can heat these guys up to get them off. And what I'll use is the one with the wide tip on there. It gets hotter. So I'm going to go do that and do the conversion while I'm at it and start the tune-up. So more to come. Okay, it appears I wasn't recording again. Hello, audio 1 2. We're on lower sideband. Let's see, RF power's all the way up. We're a little over 120 watts. Audio. And let's see, my gain all the way up. Nope. Okay, well, that's monitor. Don't want that all the way up. Hello, audio 1 2. Audio. There we go. I'll go back to, all right, I'm going to turn it all the way down again now so I can show you. SSB all the way down. Audio. A little over 10 watts. Audio. A little over 80 watts. Okay. I'm going to switch to AM. Still got it turned all the way down. Hello, audio 1 2 1 2 audio. Dead key in a little over 2 watts. Audio, hello, audio 1 2 1 2 audio. And you didn't get to see that before because the damn camera wasn't recording. But hello, 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. That little bump over there, that's at 54 megahertz. It's all the way down. Let's turn it all the way up now. Now we're dead keying a little over 11 watts. Hello, audio 1 2 1 2 audio. About 140 watts peak. And look at that. See that little bump there? We're at negative 65 on the reference line. And that little bump's just barely getting a little, well, maybe just a skosh past negative 60 dB. Okay? So, hello, audio 1 2. This thing's got some audio. You're going to love this radio. All right, and like I've said 1,000 times before, I don't cut any limiters. Okay? Don't cut any of the limiters. But there's your max mod. And of course, I showed you the Z05 and Z06s. And you just saw the output power of this thing. These are really good radios. All right. Let me get the covers put on it. I said that already, but then I realized that the damn camera wasn't recording. So, and that was my fault, because I initially pushed the button and then I pushed it again, which stopped it from recording. So that's why it didn't record all that other stuff. That's why I had to go back and show you the power again and the spectrum analyzer. Okay. It's a clean radio. You won't have any trouble with that. All right, let me get the covers on it. We'll do a final video. All the way down, and then you're doing 50, 60 watts with it turned all the way up RMS. And then with peak, we're doing about 80 watts with it turned all the way down and a little over 120 with it all the way up. Okay. Got to change the coax cable to switch it around so I can show you the receive. I mean, the radio's working great. I have very few problems with Striker radios, okay? Unless you tune them up wrong, They are a very, very high quality radio with a really great sound when you're talking to other stations. All right. Okay, let me put the covers on it, and then we'll come back and do a final video. Okay, Gary, here it is, buddy. I'm not sure if Gary is your son or if you're Gary. I got an email from the son today, said that you, and this is your radio, so I'm speaking to the father, love to watch my videos, that you watch every one that comes out. Well, that's wonderful, and I appreciate that. This video is for you. But here it is. It's finished. It's ready to go out the door. Already been through the burn-in and everything. I usually do the finish video before I do the burn-in, but this time, because of the problems I was having recording, I went ahead and did the 24-hour burn-in, and I'm doing the final video. So, Gary, or Gary's father, I sure hope you enjoy your new radio. It was my pleasure to set it up for you. 7-3, everybody. Stay safe.